I felt like he was probably going to be more, well, I really want to just kind of see what you got to say before I get into it. But he really was kind of leaning that way. And I said, well, why is that? He said, told me why. And I said, okay, well, we got a conversation that we need to have. And here's this information, and let's talk about it. And let's talk about what that means, and so forth. But, so I wasn't surprised after the bowl game that he said, hey, I'm coming back. And he was pumped up to tell me. And he's enjoyed his time, and I think that for him, he got a second-round grade, and I think for him, if he leaves here as a second-rounder next year, I mean, he'll do cartwheels. But he's got his degree. He feels like he's a little more, ready. He feels complete. And I just think, leaving early for him as a second-rounder, I think he felt a little incomplete. And so I think he's the best back in the country in this period. But I mean, obviously I'm pretty biased when it comes to that. But he's got a great future ahead of him, and I'm excited about the fact that he's back. He'll be a great leader. He's been awesome already. We got him for another, how long? Not long, but 9-10 months or so, 9 more months or so. But I do think that's got a chance to really pay off for him. So it should be fun. It's nice to know he's back. I'd already given his number 9 away. Had about 10 people want his number 9. These little boys, man, they're vultures. They're vultures around here with numbers. So had a line of guys with 9. I'm like, yeah, not so fast. Find another number.
How did he tell you?
How did he tell me? Well, he called. He called me and Woody. We were having a team meeting. I think it was that Friday. We were getting ready to start recruiting, and I like to kind of get a new team together and kind of give everybody some direction when you come off that last game, because it's kind of limbo time. So we were getting ready for a weekend and our banquet and all that stuff, and so he called me before that and told me he was on his way back. And he took a day, about 2 days to really think about it and talk through it with his family, and so that's what I found out. I just called.
Dabo, with the change in the recruiting signing dates to December and the success of the program going so further into the year, how much has that affected you guys as far as implementing your recruiting plans?
It hasn't really changed anything for us, to be honest with you. I mean, you guys that follow us, y'all know the great majority of our classes has usually been committed in the summer, usually by August. So to be honest with you, most of our guys would sign in August if they were allowed to. So it really hasn't changed anything for us. The only thing that's changed is we actually take that day in December to sign the guys. That's really the only thing, and that's been fun. Just kind of the last couple of years, it's just a part of what we do. But that part hasn't changed anything.
What about
we don't do spring official visits. A lot of people do those. That's a new rule that passed a couple of years ago. We've not done any. We don't do any spring official visits. I just think that again, it's easy to take an official visit. It's a little harder to come on your own, but you got to really be interested to come on your own. So it's just kind of been our philosophy. That's what we do. It hasn't changed anything for us, with the exception of it's changed our January for the better, because our guys they've all signed, and so now instead of spending all of January riding around chasing, a lot of our guys are mid-years too, for whatever reason. That's kind of what happens in today's culture. So last year I think we had 17 mid-years. This year we got 15. So most of those guys would be signing anyway in here. So the opportunity those guys have to get it out of the way, it's been great. It's been great for us. It's been great for them. And so we still go see those guys in January that aren't here yet. But really it allows us to kind of get a head start in our evaluation for next year's class and start really hard on that due diligence and zeroing in on next year's group.
Yeah, but what was your conversations with Chase and ultimately his decision to go to Duke?
Yeah, it was great. You know, we spent a lot of time talking together, and you know, I called David. We talked about what the options were, and, you know, just making sure we get in the right situation, the right spot. I mean, I love Chase. He's been amazing, and to me, just, you know, as I've said many times, graduation should create opportunities and options for young people. It's just the way it is, and you know, he's put the work in. And he came to Clemson, he achieved what he came here to do, and the fact that he's gotten his degrees created some other opportunities. It's like another senior, you know, moving on, whether they're moving on into a job or they're moving on to the NFL. And what he did on the field here has also created opportunity for himself. It's not like he's some slug that nobody knows. I mean, this guy can play. I think he's a pro, personally. I think he's a guy that's going to really have a great shot to play at the next level. I think we had the two best quarterbacks in the ACC on the same team last year. That's what I think. I think he's that good. And so, you know, I tried to give him some, he was great. And especially how he handled it. Because I'm going to tell you, Chase, he prepared every single week as if he was the starter. And he was into every play. I mean, you know, Chase and I would talk a lot during games. And he is very in tune to the game, very in tune to Trevor. You know, making suggestions, tell me what he sees, and he was almost like a coach, but he was very in tune to what's going on, and just such a selfless young man, so committed to his role, and so prepared to go win the game. And you know, he played. I think he probably played the most snaps of any backup in the country, where the starter didn't get hurt. I mean, so he's got a lot of tape, and a lot of opportunity to play and develop. That was important to me, for him to have that opportunity, because he deserved it. And you know, so you know, we never even talked about it. Never. First time, you know, I've assumed maybe it would be something he would consider, but he wouldn't even entertain the conversation ever. He was just focused on what he was doing and this team, and being a great teammate, and being ready for his team. So, you know, he once the season was over, he called me when we got back. We had a good talk about it. We met, and we talked about kind of some options and kind of what we were looking for, and what he was looking for. And you know, I'm very, very happy that it worked out for him to go to Duke. And you know, I called Dave. We had a great conversation. Coach Cut's one of the best people I know. I mean, he's one of the top 2 or 3 people that I would call for anything. And so just a ton of respect for him. And I think, and obviously he's got a great background in quarterbacks. And so I think it's a good fit. He's got a couple of high school teammates up there. So I think it's a great opportunity for Chase, and super excited for him.
Dabo, how have the guys handled the past month? Because a lot of them hadn't lost before. Didn't understand. Yeah. Have they come back and handled things the right way? And, you know, got focused the way you want them to get focused?
Absolutely. I mean, listen. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough thing to lose. You know, I was at the Super Bowl this weekend. I was really, really excited for the Chiefs and our guys. But man, I was really, really down for the other team, because I've been on both sides, and oh man, it's tough. You put so much into it, and you know, the season has to end. But you know what? I'd rather have to deal with that feeling than to never get there. And I like the fact that you know, we were a ACC champion team, a Fiesta Bowl champion team, a playoff win, and a few plays away. And we got beat by a great team. And you know, when you play in the games like that, you're going to play a great team. You know, we're 6-3 in the playoff era in those games, and they're hard. They're hard to win, and you got to make the winning plays. And there were some winning plays that we didn't make that they made, so they won the game. And but our guys competed, man. Our preparation was unbelievable. I mean, just tremendous preparation, focus, commitment. I mean, I can't be more proud of our team. And so, you know, it was a great year. But, as you said, the great majority of our roster never lost a game. And so from that standpoint, it was something that I paid close attention to, especially with Trevor. I've never experienced a loss with him. But it was, I mean, he was amazing, how he handled it, how the team responded, and, you know, back to work. It's a gut punch. I mean, just for sure, you're down for a couple of days. And, you know, I mean, especially with our profession and what these kids are doing, I mean, we all come up short sometimes in life. We all have disappointment. We all fail according to the objective. But most of the time, that failure, that disappointment, you know, is confined to a small group of people, or just your business that you have, or, you know, your family. But with what we do, it's you know, it's in front of everybody, and you feel that pain, you feel that burden, you know, because you want to get it done. So again, I've been on both sides of it, and I know the agony of it, and I know the joy of it. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all part of you know, life and the journey, and you got to love it all, man. You can't have fear, that type of stuff. You just grow. You just grow. Either way, you grow. And that's the decision and the choice, how you respond. How you respond to the win, how you respond to a tough loss. And our team has been amazing. The leadership's been great, and it's been good for me to be able to kind of see that. Because again, so many of these guys, I mean, I was convinced we were never going to lose again, like ever. Like 250 in a row and right off into the sunset. But, you know, I mean, we're probably not going to win the national championship every year. But hopefully we can be a team that's got a shot.